Have you ever felt like you just have to do everything yourself? Well, in this explainer, we're going to challenge that instinct. We're going to explore why letting go isn't really about losing control, but actually about finding a much more powerful way to grow. So let's kick things off with a key idea here: delegation. And look, it's not just about, offloading work you don't want to do. At its very core, it's about trusting someone else. Trusting them with control, with responsibility, with authority. It's a huge act of trust, really. Okay, let's make this personal for a second. I want you to think about a project or a responsibility you're holding on to really tightly. Now, when you imagine just stepping back and letting someone else take the reins, what's that first fear that pops into your head? Seriously, what is it? Right. If a fear just came to mind, you are definitely not alone. That feeling, that internal struggle you just felt, that's exactly what keeps us from delegating. And the crazy part is, it's what can stop our own growth dead in its tracks. So, one of the most common fears is this idea of losing momentum. It's this deep-seated anxiety that if you step off the path, even for a moment, you'll never be able to get back on it. That letting go is somehow a permanent step backward. And that feeling often connects to another huge fear. What if this is it? What if this is my peak? What if I've climbed as high as I can possibly go? From that point of view, letting go doesn't feel like a strategic rest. It feels like the beginning of a long slide down. And then, of course, there's the fear of future regret. That little nagging voice in the back of your head, right? The what-if voice. What if I gave up right before the big breakthrough happened? It's a thought that can absolutely paralyze you. So you see what's happening here. All these anxieties, the fear of peaking, of missing out, of regret, they all swirl together and create this perfect storm of internal conflict. It turns the simple act of delegating into something that feels like this massive, high-stakes gamble with your entire future. But what if this entire way of looking at it is just wrong? What if letting go isn't about loss at all, but about creating space for something even better? Let's talk about how to shift our thinking from this place of fear to a place of growth. This reframe is just so powerful. Think about what it's saying. Letting go isn't an end, it's a strategic pause. It's about creating a little space, allowing for the possibility that whatever comes next could be even bigger and better than what you're clinging to right now. And it's also about accepting that, hey, even if something doesn't work out after you let go, that one single outcome doesn't define your whole journey. It doesn't define your potential. Your identity isn't tied to just one project or one role. There are always other options. Now, this brings us to a really, really important distinction: talent versus passion. The idea here is to let go of the projects that are just a passion and instead double down on the things that cultivate your unique talent. A passion can be a fleeting spark, right? But a well-nurtured talent, that's what provides real, lasting value. All of this, it leads to a really simple but profound guiding principle. It's for growth, not just for you, but for everyone you work with. It's all about making the whole tree taller. So we've looked at the fear and we've totally reframed our perspective on it. What it all boils down to is one powerful central idea. I absolutely love this metaphor because it just makes everything click. Picture it. You are the trunk of the tree. If you try to personally hold on to every single branch, the tree's growth is totally limited by your own reach. But real growth for the whole tree, that happens when you empower other branches to grow on their own. And we can actually break this beautiful metaphor down into 3 super practical steps. First, you've got to choose what truly needs your hands. That's your core talent. Second, you have to trust others with the rest. And third, when you do that, you create the conditions for the entire system, your team, your company, whatever it is, to grow taller and stronger than you ever could alone. So we're going to end by turning this right back to you with one last actionable question. I want you to really look at your work, at your life. What is one branch that you are gripping way too tightly right now? What is one thing you can let someone else hold so that the whole tree can grow?